Hello, English learner. Welcome back to English Speaking and Listening Club. Today, we're not just learning English. We're diving into one of the most incredible business and cultural stories of our time. It's a story filled with risk, innovation, and a radical idea that transformed how we all relax, connect, and tell stories. By understanding this journey, you'll not only improve your listening skills with a captivating topic, but you'll also discover actionable lessons you can apply to your own life and learning. So, get comfortable, maybe even grab some popcorn, because we're pressing play on how Netflix transformed entertainment forever. Our story begins not in the shiny world of Silicon Valley, but in the frustrating, everyday experience of a late fee. In 1997, a man named Reed Hastings paid a $40 late fee for a rented VHS tape of Apollo 13. Annoyed, he wondered, what if you could rent movies without late fees? Without due dates? Without ever leaving your home? That simple question sparked a revolution. Netflix started as a DVD by mail service. Imagine this, you'd go online, choose a few movies from a huge digital catalog, and a few days later, a little red envelope would arrive in your mailbox. You'd watch the film at your own pace, keep it as long as you wanted with no late fees, and when you were done, you'd simply mail it back in the same envelope. For a flat monthly fee, you had unlimited rentals. This was their first genius move. They fixed a pain point. They saw that people hated late fees and limited selection at video stores, and they offered a calm, convenient, and customer-friendly solution. They made the process stress-free. But here is where the story gets truly interesting. The world was changing. Internet speeds were getting faster. Technology was advancing. And while Netflix was successful with its red envelopes, its leadership saw a storm on the horizon. They saw a future where people wouldn't want to wait for the mail. They envisioned instant gratification, click a button, and the movie starts. Now, this was a massive risk. Their entire business, their warehouses full of DVDs, their reliable mail system, all of it could become obsolete. Many companies, when faced with such a threatening new idea, choose to protect their old business. They cling to what made them successful. But Netflix did the opposite. In 2007, they introduced streaming. At first, it was a small, free add-on for their DVD subscribers. The quality wasn't great, the selection was limited, but the seed was planted. They were essentially competing with their own successful main business. They knew that to survive the future, they had to be willing to disrupt their own present. This, English learner, is our first big lesson. The greatest risk is not taking one when the world is changing around you. To grow in your English, in your career, in your life, you must sometimes be willing to let go of what's comfortable to reach for what's next. Then came the ultimate gamble. As Netflix streaming grew, they realized a dangerous truth. They didn't own the stories they were streaming. They were renting the rights from big Hollywood studios, who could raise prices or take their movies and TV shows back at any time. Netflix was just a digital pipeline, so they decided to become the source. In 2013, they released House of Cards, a full season of a high-quality, star-powered drama all at once. This wasn't just a new show. It was a new rule book. They didn't just buy a show. They used data. They knew their users loved political dramas, the director David Fincher and the actor Kevin Spacey. They combined these elements into a surefire hit. And by releasing all episodes at once, they invented binge-watching. They understood our modern psychology, the desire for control, for immersion, for the next episode now. This changed our behavior. We stopped saying, see you next week for the next episode, and started saying, I finished the whole season last weekend. They gave us the remote control for our schedules. This move ignited the streaming wars. Suddenly, everyone, Disney, HBO, Amazon, Apple, rushed to create their own streaming platforms. The old model of cable TV, with scheduled programs and commercials, began to crumble. We entered the era of on-demand everything. Netflix's transformation created a global village for stories. A teenager in Brazil could fall in love with a Korean drama like Squid Game. A grandmother in Japan could watch a Spanish mystery like Money Heist. Netflix invested billions in creating local content all over the world and then shared it with everyone. This broke down cultural barriers and created a shared global pop culture in a way that was never possible before. Entertainment was no longer just about Hollywood exporting its culture. It became a vibrant, global conversation. So, what can we, as English learners and ambitious individuals, learn from this incredible journey? The lessons are powerfully practical. First, identify the pain point and solve it simply. Netflix didn't start with a grand plan to conquer Hollywood. It started by solving the annoying problem of late fees. In your English learning, what's your late fee? Is it a fear of speaking? Boring textbooks? A lack of practice? Identify that one frustrating thing and find a simple, enjoyable solution. Maybe it's committing to just 10 minutes of a fun podcast daily, or joining a conversation club like this one. Second, be willing to disrupt yourself. Netflix could have stayed with DVDs and become a forgotten relic like Blockbuster. They chose to evolve. In your learning, are you clinging to a method that's no longer working? If you only study grammar from a book but never speak, you need to stream your learning. Embrace new tools, language apps, YouTube lessons, speaking with native tutors online. Disrupt your old, safe habits. Third, create your own content. Netflix moved from distributing others' work to creating its own masterpieces. For you, this means moving from being a passive consumer of English, just listening and reading, to an active creator. Start writing a daily journal. Record yourself speaking. Start a video blog about your hobby in simple English. You become the master of your language when you start creating with it. Finally, think globally. Use platforms like Netflix as a tool. Watch shows in English, first with subtitles in your language, then with English subtitles, and then without. Watch stories from the UK, the US, Australia, and Canada. Listen to the different accents, the slang, the cultural references. You are not just learning a language. You are gaining a passport to the world. Netflix transformed entertainment by understanding a fundamental human desire, the desire for choice, for control, for connection, and for a great story, anytime, anywhere. They taught us that in a fast-moving world, agility beats size, and courage beats comfort. Your English journey is your own transformative story. You are not just memorizing vocabulary. You are building a bridge to new opportunities, new friendships, and a new understanding of the world. You are streaming confidence, knowledge, and connection directly into your own life. One word, one conversation, one brave step at a time. So, press play on your potential. Don't wait for the perfect moment to start speaking. Create your own binge-worthy season of growth. Be the director of your learning, the writer of your script, and the star of your journey. The world is waiting to hear your story. Now, go tell it. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, don't forget to like and subscribe to this channel for more inspiring stories and practical English lessons. Keep learning, keep speaking, and I'll see you in the next one.